Hey YouTube, the Sunshine Cup started, so it is a great league with only normal, grass, ground, and fire. And I said in the top teams video yesterday that normal typings and flyer normal typings are basically unchecked in this because there's very few steals in this. I saw one Steelix today and like one or two Galarian Stunfisk, but otherwise they're unchecked. Plus you have like Vigoroth as one of the best safe swap counter users, so it's great. So obviously the Owl and Vigoroth are just two easy Pokemon to pair together. I need a third. I've seen people run like also wearing Pidgeot, like Double Flyer. I think that was one of my teams I mentioned yesterday, Vigoroth Double Flyer. But I use Miltank, and it is right in the name, a tank. So having Tackle Body Slam was just a super strong, like just spammy combo, and it's tanky enough to like just absorb damage. And then Ice Beam also can potentially catch flyers, or as probably one of these, I think I put it in the battle, a Diggersby off guard. So that's the team. I went 8-2 with it, and the one loss, I got two losses today. One loss I think I just played poorly, and then one loss they got a double boost on a Night Slash, which is just like, okay, like you lose those, right? You can't do much against a double boost. So those are the two losses today. Otherwise, easy team to use, strong team just based on this meta. Tackle Body Slam spam is real. I know someone always likes when I say that, so the body slam spam is real. Thinking I could take it down, but also I know I went CMP, so I was like, I'll just shield once to keep switch here. You don't need to keep switch here. It's just kind of nice having the Owl and Vigoroth just to kind of keep one, but it doesn't matter. I actually end up losing this one. They get an extra tackle through, I guess, somehow. That's fine. I will get one ahead on counter, and they come in with their own Vigoroth, and I'm like, oh, okay. Miltank, Vigoroth. We're looking like a mirror match here, and unfortunately, if you played this yesterday like I did, I would say 95% of teams had either a Vigoroth, the Owl, a Pidgeot, or multiple of those. And there's your Pidgeot. So there's your basically same lineup, just with the Pidgeot instead of the Owl. And is this the one? No, this is a double call here. So I call the first Feather Dance, as they don't normally just go for it right away. Gets the Sky Attack, but my attack is 2 times lower, so the Sky Attack will not take it out. For sure, someone who's down to 50% health with a shield is going to shield. No way. I'm not. I'm calling your second Feather Dance bait. It is a second Feather Dance bait. Doesn't matter at the ending. I get to a move before they get to their Brave Bird. Take it out. Coming with Vigoroth just to basically reset. I was about to say, just reset the 4 times lowered, and then I'll come back in and wing attack for down. This matchup, I had this matchup on the lead before. Miltank against Vigoroth. It's not bad. Like, the counters do super effective, sure. Like, I'm not even going to leave here because I have the Owl in the back and I have Vigoroth. Actually, I make it up now into Vigoroth and counter it down. Yeah, take one move and then just counter this down. Lose CMP here, which is unlucky. What are you going to do? But I played the Miltank Vigoroth matchup straight up. Obviously, you lose because it's a counter user, but it's not bad. The Tackle and Body Slam adds up, and you take it very low. And sometimes I even grabbed shields, so that was pretty nice. Obviously, Trevenant's going to come back in here. Don't use Trevenant. Like, good job for my opponent. Maybe that's all they have. But in a meta that is going to be dominated, I guess in the Vigoroth matchup, you actually win quite easily because your C-bombs do neutral as opposed to everything which you throw is resisted. But in a meta dominated by the Owl, Pidgeot, and Vigoroth, like, don't run. Do not run Trevenant in this meta. I think that there are a couple Pokemon that I don't want to spoil anything because it's on my next team that I ended today with. Oh boy. I think this is one where I'm going to lose. Attack Sharply Rose. So they're not going to be able to take me out. And then, yeah, they're just like farming down in the 2 shield here. Because not much you can do about that. There's a couple Pokemon here that I think are pretty strong. Gliscor, it's because I think Gliscor, I had one against Gligar. Gligar is not as strong. I had one against Flygon. Same thing too. Any of these like flyer. Oh no, I do win this one because they didn't. I remember this. They did not get out. They needed to get out and like farm with Trevenant or just like claw with Trevenant, but they did not get out and they allowed me to get to 2 moves. I remember that. That should have been a loss. So I got boosted on twice. Yeah, I got double boosted on twice. This is probably the matchup that I just stand here. So yeah, I'm just gonna stand here. They're gonna outpace me with the body slams because just counter body slam comes really quick. But again, tackle body slam, like there's a shield and I'll live 1. And if they try and I'll live body slam, and if they try and farm here, they're not gonna farm me all the way down and I'll get another move off. And I believe they do try and farm all the way down. So there we go. I grabbed a shield, tackled the damage, and now they are in the deep red. So I took a shield advantage. I mean, they're gonna have like 100 energy here, so they're gonna get a shield right back, which is okay. Because now I will have energy advantage. So they'll take switch, which is fine, but now energy advantage with the Vigoroth comes in decently handy, unless you see a Gligar. But that is where we just chip with this, because even this body slam does great chip damage, like takes it down like, I don't know, 30-35%. They're throwing, I'm assuming it's going to be a return, and that's why I shield, assuming that that's maybe one of the best moves they have, because there's no reason. I mean, you could bait with the Night Slash, but there's no reason to really. So I just grabbed it, especially when you have a Brave Bird in the back. Is this one where it tanks it? Oh my god. This is why, right here, why everyone hates the Great League meta and why the owl is so stupid. Down to what, 60%, something like that. Surely a Brave Bird is going to take me out, but no, those 0-14-14 IVs, 60% health, tank a Brave Bird, able to take it out. Come back in here. A body slam's not going to take this out, but they can't get to a return because they dumped all their energy, so they only can throw Night Slash. And Night Slash on its own is a terrible move, so I can counter down for the win. Ridiculous. The fact that the owl can stand that, like, you can't change. Can you change the stats of something in this game? I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, the owl is just so dominant based on like how hard it hits and how tanky it is, and that's just like what you saw right there. It just absorbed a Brave Bird from that. Crazy. But yeah, why it's kind of good. This team's kind of good is, I mean, one, there's not many things that, like, again, unchecked because of the limited of the meta. Miltank and the owl are both tanky, like super tanky, right? Vigoroth is very, very glossy, but it's also very spammy, right? Counter is great against a lot of these normal typings, and then body slam spam, as I mentioned. The owl and Miltank are very tanky, but they are also hard hitting, and that is what makes them both very dangerous in this meta, and that's what obviously makes the owl very, very dangerous in Open Great League. So I do end up shielding a payback there. Obviously I could have lived it if I wanted to, but I just felt like they were gonna do that, so I just shielded up. Able to take it out. Still ton of health left on this, so even if this comes back in and they get one off, that's fine. Like, it's only gonna do like another 30%, maybe 35. This will probably take them out if they do not shield here. It does, and they have a Vigoroth in the back. And catch. I played really well. I played really well with the catching, with a few things. I was on the bus on the way home doing it today because I was in the office today. So I was just sort of in the zone, had music on. It's much easier to focus when you just have music playing and you're on a bus by yourself as opposed to like when I've got two kids jumping on me. It's a little trickier. And they have to throw out something. Oh, or I win CMP too. So there we go. Take it out for the win with the catch. But again, as you see, another Pidgeot, another Owl, another Vigoroth. They're just everywhere. I have an Ice Beam. And Ice Beam's I mentioned in my top team videos yesterday. Ice Beam is great because it covers all these flyers that you're going to see, plus it covers grass, which again, I barely saw any grass because why would you when the Owl and Pidgeot are everywhere? So why would you not build up to it and use it in this scenario? It's beyond me. And there is your second Owl. Like, this is what you're seeing. Lots of Owls, lots of Pidgeots, lots of Vigoroth. So if you want to think of a team to beat it, you're probably going to do pretty well in this meta. So it's either you use it or go against it are your two options, right? That's how it works. I started with it. I went 8-2 with this. I tried one team against, and I went 2-3. I tried another team that I was 2-2 and would have won until, and it didn't even upload. This was the closest I came to being like, I'm done with this game. Dominating the game, up a shield, add a charge move. So I farmed down. I lost it. I didn't lose it. I deleted it out of frustration after. I farmed down the opponent. They have a charge move loaded. They come in with a Pokemon, invisible Pokemon. I get off the charge move. My game freezes for 20 seconds, and it comes back, and no damage was done. My Pokemon was gone, and I was on my last Pokemon. So I went from what should have been a 3-2 set to another 2-3 set. And then my last set with a new team, I went 4-1. So I'm going to try that team a bit again tomorrow. I have a couple Ultra League teams already shot. And I got this other one coming mostly from a comment in the one of my posts. I don't want to give it away because in case they're using it, but they're like, what about Nidoqueen? And I'm like, yes, what about Nidoqueen in a meta where Vigoroth and Double as your counter users are your safe swap, and you do fine otherwise in neutral situations, otherwise in like most other spots. So there's my Ice Beam landed on Diggersby, catches it off guard, so I'm going to shield back, thinking it's an Earthquake. It is a Hyper Beam, so good. Got the Ice Beam off, which is great. Got the shield on the Hyper Beam, which is even better. Chipping, look at Double's pretty tanky, and just took it down to like 60% health left, and now the Owl can just come and absorb all this damage, get these sky attacks off quickly. So the team is just like, just absorb energy with Miltank, try and get like tackle and body slam damage off, save shields realistically for Vigoroth and the Owl, and you should do pretty well. So yeah, what about Nidoqueen? And so it's on my second team, Nidoqueen, the team that I went 4-1 on. It's the problem. So let me just, because if you're gonna use it right now, let me tell you the main problem with it. Actually, so it's not. I played it multiple ways. Vigoroth is a safe swap in this league mostly. So you come in and you resist the counters. Great. So mine's a Shadow. Let's just keep that in mind. Mine's a Shadow. And it only takes 2 body slams to take out a Nidoqueen. So if you go Poison Fang straight, they live one and they'll outpace you to body slam, so you have to shield. You can farm down though, so you come out with energy. That's one way you play it. The second way you play it is you can just go straight Earth Power, because you can live one body slam and you get to the Earth Power before they get to the second body slam. And one Earth Power does take out. because I had that today. The third option is you go Earth Power and they shield, and then you're really behind on energy. So I also had that happen today in the 3 matches, because Vigoroth was everywhere as a safe swap. But yeah, so if you're going to use it, just keep that in mind. But I do think moving forward, you either use meta or just counter it. And again, look at this. They're going to have to throw it back to back here, or else I'm going to get to a move. So it's a losing matchup, obviously, because it's a counter user. But miltank, tanky enough and to deal with that. Plus, you have like a decent matchup against the Flyers. And now I am loaded with energy coming out of this Swampert. This is one of 2 Swampers that I saw in the day. I hope that's all I see, because the team that I'm using obviously has Nidoqueen on it, and it has another Pokemon that is very weak to... I'm pretty sure all my Pokemon on the team are weak to water. It's one of those, just like if I see a water I lose, which is fine because I've only saw 2 in 25 matches here today. So at this point, my thought process is let's just shield because I can farm down. They are smart and recognize they do not want to get farmed down, so they get out of here. But this is where just shipping with Body Slam and these counters is significant, because now it is within range of like Wing Attack, Sky Attack, easy sort of peasy. Because they're so far down. They are like loaded with energy, but they're not, and you need 3 to take me out. And at this point I need like 1 plus a bunch of wing attacks. So I got the 1 shield. They're going to have to get a second one off here. They will, but it still won't take me out. And then it's just a race whether they get to a third or I can get to a second. And they can get to a third, which is fine, because now they're dry. I can now come in and counter, get ahead on energy here, just make sure I throw out before they get to move, take this out, and then I can counter Body Slam for the win, because Body Slam is spammy AF. So that's the team. That's how you use it. Again, miltank, you don't really need to leave against anything, quite honestly. Your hardest answer is going to be like a Galarian Stunfisk, because you only have Tackles Resist and you have Ice Beam. I didn't see a ton of those on the lead. You don't need to leave against... You'll lose against Vigoroth, but you don't need to leave against it. You can just stay in against anything, tank anything, just absorb the damage. Vigoroth with shields is pretty good. Vigoroth with energy is good. The Owl is strong as it is in Great League. So that is it. Let me know what you're running. I know a lot of people are running some sort of triple normal team. So stay tuned for a combo of Ultra League and Sunshine Cup for the rest of this week. But that is it. Appreciate the thumbs up and comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.